Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Sister Wives, seasons 19, episodes 19 and 20.
Listen here, we are going to start pairing these episodes up because in the one episode, there wasn't enough to talk about. Mm-hmm. In the second episode, there still wasn't enough to talk about. But we're going to give y'all a double for your trouble episode. Subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. Let's go, Blair.
Okay, so Janelle is in North Carolina with Maddie.
Mm-hmm.
There has still been no movement with Coyote Pass. Janelle is going to have to prove their joint funds pay for the property so they can split the funds 4 ways despite how it's titled on the land, which we know Kody has titles on every piece of land and Janelle only has like a couple. Meri has one.
Technically, Kody owns Coyote Pass.
Exactly.
Basically.
She feels like she should have fought harder for all of their names to be all on all the titles of the land, and she was too trusting in the moment. Okay, I've got a topic of conversation here.
Go ahead.
So we can expand on this topic. In monogamous relationships, if you're going the traditional route, for some people, they allow the man or the husband to be the leader of the household.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of trusting when it comes to the finances and property. It just makes me think about other shows like Housewives, where some ladies have found themselves in sticky predicaments because they've trusted their husband with the finances of the household and end up their names are on different pieces of property that they didn't know existed or on different bills that they didn't know existed when it comes to the forensics of divorce. And they actually find out where their name is and where all the money was split up. Yeah. Now, in the in the polygamy world, with Janelle not having a legal marriage, and I'm thinking to myself, the fact that she didn't have a legal marriage and she's not going to have a legal divorce, it just sounds like an uphill battle as far as proving assets combined through the family and finding a fair way to split them, because I'm just like, in a marriage, like, you have the forensic accountants, you have the divorce attorneys, you have all of these people who can kind of help you get that information. But in a polygamous relationship, the only thing I can think of is, you have your regular kind of like business or contract lawyers, but this was really a marriage. How can you decipher that when you're having this break and it was in a marriage setting, but now you're going to have to prove the fact that you were handling it as a marriage? I guess I don't have a good question. It's just all very,
where's the question?
It's all very confusing. So I guess my thing is, do you feel like women should have more of a say or more of a knowledge as far as the financial piece in their relationships, especially polygamous ones? I mean,
well, that's 2 separate questions right there, because polygamy, legally, if you want to talk about property, you are own nothing.
Yeah.
So it's like what like you basically have to put your trust in a handshake deal. Right. Your marriage is a handshake deal, basically.
To be honest, it's not even documented.
So what can you, how you go take the legal route to prove something legally when you didn't do something legally? So technically it's not I want to see how she gonna do this. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Because for one, where you are, I don't think it's illegal. Is it illegal in Arizona? I'm not
polygamy?
Sure. Yeah,
I don't know.
But I know y'all was on the run from like the other state because it
was illegal there.
It's illegal there. So there's some legality that I just don't know when it comes to that, right? But I would think that in a monogamous relationship, because she is my wife, there are things that she's legally like she can have. You get what I'm saying? So you gonna have to prove that, we was married. Okay, where's your marriage certificate? Where's your marriage license? Okay, you don't have that. Oh, it was a polygamous marriage. Okay, now we getting into some is it legal, illegal, things like that. So look, man, the only one it's so funny that Christine is having this problem, but you know who don't have this problem? Robyn. You get
Janelle's having a problem.
I mean not Janelle. I mean not Christine. Janelle is having this problem, but you know who don't have this problem? Robyn. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, Kody can put his name on all the properties and things like that, and at the end of the day, she's like, "Well, I'm married to him." Yeah. So technically, my name is on all the property too. Exactly. So with Janelle, this is what you call a business partnership.
Yeah.
And you should have had things in writing, not as husband and wife, but as business partners. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Do you think that there's something she could have done beforehand? I guess get it in writing, right? That's pretty much
Get everything in writing.
Yeah.
Get everything in writing.
So Christine and David go to the house that they got in Moab. This is going to be their Airbnb. Christine changed her last name to David, I believe. They're traveling on the same road when they moved from Utah, and they got 3 flat tires. And she's like, if that wasn't a sign from God, I don't know what was. Kody, Robyn, and the kids are going to paint the tables out on Coyote Pass. Apparently Robyn's dad made the tables, and each table was for each family member's home, and she feels like her dad would be happy that they're all working together. Robyn's mom actually married her dad, which is not her biological dad, so her mom was Paul's second wife.
You see what I mean?
It was,
a whole bunch of Charlotte's Web we got to untangle and things like that. Just be monogamous. You get what I'm saying? Look, it's funny how y'all did all this just for y'all to just be monogamous anyway.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, all this web you got to untangle just for at the end of it, it's just Robyn and Kody. You get what I'm saying? Let's keep going.
So Janelle and Meri are working together regarding getting their fair share of the property.
Yeah.
Meri sent an email to start the conversation about the property with everyone. Kody talked about selling it, and Meri said that Kody doesn't get to decide what they do with the land. It's been 1.5 years since Meri's conversation with Kody about the land, and she's about ready to get a lawyer. Kody says that he's working on it, but he's not working for them or on their time. And I think that's where the danger comes in. One, in these polygamous relationships where the women don't have any type of financial or legal standing, and the man who the land and the titles are in his name is the one who gets to make the decisions.
Yeah.
I hear Meri's point of saying, like, I'm not married to him no more. He's not the head of my life. Like, he doesn't get to make all these decisions. But you handed that over to him when you handed the titles to him.
Besides fighting over whose lot's bigger and whose lot's near the tree and who things like that, hey, put all our names on the property.
Exactly.
Because it's actually easier just to remove, like, okay, yeah, this person's off the title. Like it's the same way as I could buy a house, and let's say me and Blair just got married, I could just add her name to, like, the deed. You get what I'm saying? To, like, the house. Like, so it's like, if we're really in this, if you're really married to us, Kody, and things like that, and we're all your wives, legally or not legally, put all our names on the title,
on all the property,
of them. and then we split it up. You get what I'm saying? So, but of course not.
So Christine really saw how independent she was during Isabella's surgery, and that's where she began to grow. Kody was spending a lot of money towards the end of the relationships.
Yeah.
Janelle was the bookkeeper, but certain things he says she wasn't. She didn't need to know what he was spending his money on.
Okay. So you are the bookkeeper, but don't worry about what I'm spending, though.
Kody goes between wanting to keep the property, wanting to sell the property, him being out there on the land with the kids. It just gave him the idea of what they could all do by being there and all the memories they could have. So honestly, I think Kody is very emotionally driven right now. Yeah. And I think he needs to see a therapist. I don't know if he's actually going to go. He's probably not. But I'm just like, he can't even make smart decisions right now. He is like in a state of just on a hamster wheel. Yeah. And he's just running. You know how hamsters do, running and shaking the cage and everything, because he's just got all this pent up energy and frustration with nowhere for it to go. Like, he needs some help.
Well, the truth of the matter is that the end of the first episode? Yep. Coyote Pass was never a reality. It was not even. That's like, y'all already had y'all problems individually in your own marriages, right? Kody had problems with Meri by being there but not there. Kody had his problem with Christine. She was too opinionated. He had his problems with Janelle, even though it wasn't as bad as the other two. And Robyn was the new wife. You get what I'm saying? So everybody had their own inkling problem with her, right? So imagine having problems with literally every wife you have, and then say, you know what we gonna do? We gonna buy land and build on it, and we all gonna be together. Yeah. Besides actually fixing the problems within the marriage, right? So all he did was buy this land as a distraction from the problems that he had inside each of his homes. So now he's crying about this dream of his that was never a dream. It was actually just a distraction of trying to make everybody happy. Everybody get their own lot, everybody get their own space, and then we all get together. It's like even when you say it out loud, how we all gonna live on the same land separately?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Compared to where y'all all had kind of like a community place where all of y'all was like in the same area. So it's like y'all was trying to find ways to be together but apart.
Exactly. And I think that's really where the breakdown of the family not necessarily started, but at the very early seasons where they were all living in that one house together, they had a type of tandem going on. They had a flow. They had a way of going about the household. But once everybody separated into their own homes, everybody ran their house independently. And there was talk about them all like getting one big property for Coyote Pass and just building one house. But people weren't wanting to go back to that because I like having my own space. I like having my own yard. And that's the thing is that if you guys were, you know, they couldn't help it because where they were living, it was illegal. So they had to get out of Dodge.
Get up out of there.
But the fact that they settled into the fact of this is my household, I really don't think there was a way for them to go back. And like there really wasn't a way.
Especially since y'all are husband and wives. This is not just cousins. Cousins, you can do that with cousins. Hey, we all live on the same property. You got your space, I got my space. But y'all supposed to be wives raising children together.
Yeah.
Where y'all have your own place, and then I think Dave was gonna build like a community center where everybody could go and hang out at. It's like it was never gonna work. Coyote Pass was never a real thing. It was just a distraction to take away from him not being a good husband to each of his wives and children. Yeah, that's all it was. Let's get into the next episode, Blair.
So we get into episode 20. Janelle is moving to North Carolina to her 150 acres with Maddie and her family. Okay. And Christine is going to help her as well. One of the kids ended up telling Kody and told him to pretend like he never heard it. And Kody knows that he wasn't supposed to know about Janelle's move. Okay. Kody always thought that he and Janelle could have worked things out. Well, my thing is with Kody and Janelle, you felt like things could work out because Janelle wasn't really bucking against the system. Exactly. She was cool with going about her life and her day to day and whatever she needed to do in order to keep the family afloat.
Yeah, he lost his most loyal soldier.
He did. But when COVID struck and he really turned his back on those kids, Janelle was not going to continue to just stand by and do her thing because you're affecting my children.
100%.
And she turned into Mama Bear.
100%.
And that was the end of that. Yeah. So, but Aurora has a conversation with Kody and Robyn about the church that she's been going to. She's been getting really involved and she wants to get baptized. Okay. And Robyn asks her into the church and Kody wants to know if she's committing her life to God or to the church. And Aurora tells them her commitment is to Christ. Okay. They're very happy to hear that because they discuss that in the church that they were in, you were baptized into the church and basically were a believer of the church and the church members. Yeah. So they had to clarify that based off of their beliefs and religious background. Yeah. So then she asked if Kody will baptize her with her pastor, which he agrees to do.
Yeah, like I said, the reason why they not really into their church outside of they don't do the practices anymore because it gives off like a cult vibe. You get what I'm saying? So usually in baptism, outside of how they was describing it, usually you get baptized as a way of Christianity, of basically being born again, washing off the old, basically coming up as the new and things like that. But there is something too, which Kody do have a point, that happens in most churches, even in Black American churches and things like that, to where people will commit their lives to a building, to an establishment, to a corporation, while thinking that goes hand in hand with Christ. If it's done the right way, it does, right? But there would never be a time to where I would have to choose between the church and my wife. Yeah, that's not hand in hand. You get what I'm saying? That's hand in fist. So I like the fact that even though they don't agree, I give them a little bit of the be out of jail that Kody agreed to baptize with the pastor with his daughter. I think that's a good experience. But it's a shame that, Robyn kids get to get all these experiences and things like that while whole time we don't know what's going on over there in North Carolina, over there. It's just Robyn kids get daddy, you know what I mean?
Exactly. And but the thing that I did like about this conversation is that religious trauma that they've been through and the issues that they had, they're not really allowing that to stop Aurora and Brianna from finding their path. And so I appreciate that, but I also appreciate their healthy skepticism,
of course,
of not just allowing them to just be a part of anything and making sure that they know the reasons why they're taking these steps so they don't find themselves in a cult type situation.
Yes.
So I like that they're being cautious and careful with what they're agreeing to and what they feel like their daughters are agreeing to.
And to add, it's actually healthy to be skeptical about things. Yeah. To question. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with questions.
Yeah. So Meri has a retirement party for Madeline, who was the cook at the B&B. And this cook was around when her mother was living. Yeah. So it just kind of feels like an end of an era to her. And she's wondering if it's time to shut down the B&B.
I think it is.
I would say if it's still giving you money, I don't see why. I mean, if you can get a manager for it, I don't see why she should shut it down unless she's really ready to move on. She just redid the carriage house.
But I think she's doing things just to do things, right?
Maybe so.
But I am a big believer of out with the old, in with the new. Yeah. Right? Meaning that if this is the only thing that is tying you to your mom outside of the memories that you have, then you need to shut it down. Because I think there is I don't want to say trauma because I don't want to make it sound that deep, but there's something to, this was my mother's place, this was my mother's things, and I have to keep it up and keep it going. And I now tether my life to this thing. She moved from Coyote Pass or moved from where she was to go up there to manage it. And then it's like, are you freely living your life, Meri, or are you keep repeating the past?
Yeah, like you were like anchored to Kody. Now are you anchored to this?
Exactly.
B&B?
Your mama is gone, and she left it to you so you can freely do what you want to do to it. That's the whole point about it. If this B&B gives you freedom and if it assists in your freedom, keep it. But if it doesn't, and if it holds you back, if it takes you back to a place to where you're always thinking about your mom and things like that, and you can't move on in your freedom in the present, going towards the future, let it go. Sell it.
Agreed. Christine sometimes has...
And that sounds cold. But I'm just letting you know from someone who has 2 dead parents. You get what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that I wanted to keep that I had to let go because it would have kept me in the past. I don't want to sound insensitive, but it's the reality. Yeah. The whole point of keeping things is that it's supposed to give you freedom. But if it doesn't, let it go. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So Christine sometimes has nightmares that she's still married to Kody.
Okay.
Janelle does not. But Christine tells Janelle, but you guys kind of ended it well. Janelle says that it kind of ended a long time ago. It was like a slow death. Yeah. Janelle didn't have any plans for her birthday that one year when Kody took her out, so she just accepted his invite. And Christine teases that Kody was expecting more after the date.
I think she got more after the date.
I think Janelle said that's nobody's business.
And she still, listen, and she didn't clarify or anything like that.
She said that's nobody's business. What I do with my husband. Okay. And even to this day, Janelle's like, I don't know how to go about getting a release. Yes, she talked to Meri talking about Coyote Pass. You can ask Meri.
Yeah, exactly.
She don't know how. Okay.
Christine over here like Kody wanted to have sex, right? Christine, guess what? Janelle ain't say nothing.
Yeah. Kody said that with Janelle, when he took her out, he knew he was in the friend zone. He was just having a nice time without expectations. Kody, I don't believe you, because in the moment, I felt like Kody was acting like he was on a date. He was very happy. He was very happy to be out with Janelle.
Kody took her to her favorite spot, pulled out the convertible for her, and all the above. You get what I'm saying? So listen here, I'm not hating.
But I low-key think he says stuff like that because it's so backwards, because he wants to be monogamous with Robyn. So I think he likes to downplay his relationships with his ex-wives. Yeah. But Robyn wants to be in a polygamous marriage, so it's not like you downplaying them is not making Robyn feel better. She's just kind of like, I don't see why you can't make it work with these ladies.
I can't make it work. It's funny.
So they go to this place called Plot's Plot, which I thought was pretty cool and pretty interesting. So this was kind of like a shed storage container is to honor David Plotz, who went through a big life transition. So people go there and leave something there when they're going through a big life transition. Okay. Janelle leaves the necklace that Kody designed for her, which was like a tree symbol type thing. And Christine left a dream catcher that was holding all her nightmares of being married to Kody. Exactly.
Okay. She said, I'm leaving this here. This thing ain't catching nothing, right?
Exactly. And my thoughts about that, I just thought it was a cool scene. I like seeing the things that other people left, and it looks like there were like notes and like a little book where things like people signed and explained like what their transitions in life were. So that was like a nice like moment of moving on, of shifting the energy, of Janelle starting fresh and really having bigger and better than she ever imagined, because she was living in an RV on Coyote Pass.
She was
just having faith that this thing would come to fruition. Lo and behold, she's starting this farm, and what is it, sunflower farm, and this B&B and all these things on this 150 acres with her daughter and her daughter's family. So I'm just very happy for Janelle.
My thing is, hey, if y'all really serious about leaving something while y'all go through a major transition, leave like your car keys.
Okay.
Leave like that diamond engagement ring. Don't leave a dream catcher. You get what I'm saying? Let's keep going.
Yeah. So Kody was surprised when he agreed to baptize Aurora that the church didn't need like a background check or to see if he was qualified to baptize people. And honestly, I think if Kody can open himself a little bit, if this church that Aurora is going to is actually like a Bible-based church, I think that Kody might kind of get a reawakening if he actually goes. And might actually experience church in a different way, because the things that they're saying when she's talking about baptizing, and they're saying like to the church, do they need a background check? I'm just like, yeah, y'all come from something way different.
Yeah, y'all come from something very deep.
Yeah. So I think when he goes and she gets baptized, I think his eyes might be opened a little bit to see how different these things can operate.
Maybe.
You know?
And then on top of that, like, it's my dad. Yeah. So it's like, oh, okay, if your dad want to be in the water with us, cool, you know?
So Kody apparently wasn't good with his schedule when he had multiple wives. Robyn really never paid attention to his schedule. It was cool when he was there, cool if he wasn't.
Because he was
with you all the time.
Exactly. Come on. I sure can read Robyn now. You know what I mean?
Meri would want to know when he was coming over because she was a planner and she didn't want him to just show up whenever. Kody acknowledges he was fly by the seat of his pants, and he probably was too lax, too flexible for a plural marriage.
Okay.
Meri has been dating. She hasn't found her person yet.
Okay.
And the church they used to belong to, they would say you're not divorced until you sleep with a new guy. Janelle likes the idea of a spiritual lease, but she doesn't know who she would call. Sure, Janelle.
Call Meri's guy. Okay. I hear you.
And Robyn thinks that all of them need to have their marriages dissolved if they're really separating from Kody. But Kody thinks that God is going to sort it out.
Listen, all Robyn's trying to say, don't use my husband as like a key for y'all to get into whatever heaven y'all going to and things like that. And that's what Janelle's trying to do. She's trying to hedge her bets.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That's all she's
like, I ain't with him, but I ain't breaking the covenant.
So just in case something happens, like, he's my key inside. It's like, okay, I see you, Janelle.
Everyone helped with the finances, but things have changed as far as where the money was going and to who. Kody wanted to buy Janelle Christine's house, but Janelle didn't want her house. And Kody was annoyed by that.
Kody, matter of fact, I don't even care. like, because Cody's logic make no sense.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
Cody's logic is emotion.
Yeah.
Christine and David take Janelle to the bar, and Janelle takes some shots for the first time. Ooh. She was getting a little tipsy. Kody says that he never had a shot before. Meri did one shot. Robyn never had a shot at a bar, and she's never really been to a bar. And I'm just like, Robyn, I don't really believe you.
You don't think so?
Okay, no.
I kind of believe her.
Okay.
I kind of believe Robyn to be that type of a square, to not go to a bar and things like that.
I feel like she's been at some point in her youth. She's like, because she said never really been to a bar. So I'm just like, probably when you were 21. You went.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm
saying?
Maybe. But I'm glad that Janelle is letting loose, having a good time. But I will say, Christine just reminds me of a rebellious child. She is just out here doing everything that she was ever told not to do.
Any freedom. You don't even know what she really likes.
Exactly.
She likes what she was told no to. That's all.
Exactly. And maybe she needs this time to explore and to find herself, but don't end up an alcoholic or a drug addict in the process.
Whole time.
Okay. Like, have a good time, but keep it cute, keep it safe.
Yes.
So, and don't drag your family and Janelle into situations that she might not be into. But
yes.
Yeah.
And I will say, and that is the end, right?
Yes.
And I will say this: invest in David, because guess what? Kody did act like Kody, but Kody characteristics and things like that is not only tailored to Kody. So when David start acting like things and you may be like, this kind of resembles Kody, don't run.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I hope you're loving David in your marriage for the sake that he is David, not the anti-Cody.
Exactly. Agreed.
Anything else?
That's all I got.
Listen, we go try again next week with watching one episode, seeing if there's enough. If not, we see y'all on the double side, okay? Subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. We see y'all.
Bye.